everyone. It's Wednesday, September 18th, and it is a particularly auspicious day because Saturn is coming out of retrograde today and starting to move direct. And what is that mumbo jumbo all about, you ask? So today I'm going to give you a little bit of insight into retrograde motion and what does it mean when we say, for example, Mercury retrograde, Saturn retrograde, any planet retrograde. Retrograde motion, as it was explained to me when I was a student of astrology, is a planet going into an apparent motion in the sky where it appears to be traveling backwards. So apparently, Saturn has been appearing to be moving backwards in the sky for the last 140 days, since the very last day of April, and it is now going direct today. So apparent motion is about the fact that we are all traveling around the sun at different speeds. And for example, Mercury takes about 88 days to do a full orbit. So it's the zippiest planet, the closest one to the sun. And then there's us at 365 days and 1/4. And there is Saturn that takes 28 to 29 years to make a full orbit around the sun. And because we're moving at different speeds, the way that it was explained to me that made the most sense is say that you're sitting on a train in a train station and there's another train beside you and that train starts to take off and move forward. So we've all had this experience, and the first time you had it when you were a kid, it was pretty freaky, but you start to feel like you're moving backwards, right? And you're not actually moving backwards, but that's the apparent motion from your perspective. I thought I would use couple visual aids. Yeah, here we are, and we're basically stationary, and then this thing, which is stationed in front of us, starts to move forward, and when that starts to happen, we start to feel like we're moving backward. Oh, there's a cat. Hi, kitty. Hey. Anywho, so that is retrograde motion, and startlingly, it really does have an effect on us when those planets appear from our perspective to be moving backwards in the sky. Saturn is known as the taskmaster of the zodiac. He's kind of seen as an old stoic authoritarian father figure, and where he is in your chart. What he represents in the chart is obstacles, limitations, and hard-won lessons. And where the way that Saturn was kind of like operating in the sky over the summer, he was in a difficult position a lot of the time because he's right beside Pluto, which is a planet of transformation. And a lot of our personal planets were in opposition to Saturn this summer. So people actually referred to what was happening with the dance between the planets this summer as kind of like the meat grinder time. Saturn being in retrograde during this time basically meant that he was like pushing on your bruises and bringing anything that was kind of on your stove and needing to be cooked to a rolling boil. So because he does represent your more difficult lessons, anything that wasn't like working very well for people going into, let's say, May, like a relationship that wasn't functioning well, or a job that you're tired of, or a health concern, or anything that's not really working in your life, Saturn really turned up the heat this summer and made it so that it had to be reckoned with. So anything that's been going on for you for the last, like, let's say 3-4 months, May, June, July, yeah, basically 140 days is how long Saturn is retrograde, is going to basically straighten itself out now. And any of the work and efforts that you've been putting in over the last number of months, it will kind of like come to fruition now, and basically you're going to get graded on your test. And the nice thing about Saturn is he really likes when you do the work. So if there's been something that really needed your attention this summer and you've been working hard at it, you're going to get a big gold star, and things will start kind of like straightening themselves out, which I think we're all really ready to have happen. So yeah, Saturn is going direct today, and you might actually feel like things are like the tension aspects in your life are actually starting to just loosen a little bit, and you're going to get a little bit more breathing room, and what you've been doing over the last number of months in terms of the things that you've been working really hard with and that have been very challenging are going to start to level out a little bit. So that is Saturn going direct. I hope it's a really good time for you guys. And weigh in if you want to about whatever you think was happening with you this summer in the little comments below. And I'll see you guys next week. Bye.